What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is Journey with Jay. Hi, if you are a recurring person, thank you for joining me on this journey and coming on with me to experience life with me and listen to my many stories and antics of things that I've experienced in life. If you are new to the channel, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a supporter. Thank you for being with me as we go through with this. First off, let me start off by saying that this video was supposed to be posted on Monday, but this has been a crazy week. This weekend, I had an order to fill, and it was stressful. That order was all right. Before I get into what I want to talk about today, let me just give you a little, just a little something. Baking is not easy, and I love baking because it's therapeutic. I love the science behind it. I love how I see things come together. But there are sometimes, not all the time, does it come out, the products that you make come out the way that you want it. And sometimes you may have a vision or a way of thinking that something will happen the way that you think it will happen, and it doesn't happen the way that you think it was happen. That was this order for me last week. A person ordered like 24, 21 cupcakes. She wanted specific colors. She wanted specific things. And, I had a vision in my head that the cupcakes, they came out good, but not to what I thought they would come out to. But that's not the point. Y'all also, never mind my scruffiness. I haven't been to the barber in a while. Me and the barber got some issues. He wants money and I have bills, so you can see my dilemma. But that's not the point of what I wanted to talk about today. Today I want to talk about how I became Christian. Yes. So I wanted to talk about how I became Christian and how I got into my faith with Jesus. So with that being said, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So, I'm in the 10th grade. And, well, first off, let me say, I think like every other Black family, Jesus has always been a part of the family. So my grandmother was Christian. I don't know what her relationship was like with God. I don't know at all. I know a little bit. I don't know a lot because my grandmother actually passed away when I was in the 3rd grade. So I was about 6 or 7. So growing up, my mom would tell us stories about what my grandmother told her and my other aunts about God and the Bible. So, and I can say that it was made a little scary because, first of all, my mom was not the quote unquote religious type. She was more like, okay, I know that there's a God. I know that he exists. I know, about church, but don't force me to go. I'll go on my own time. I do it when I'm ready. So you can basically say that we grew up with like, okay, there's a God, but like we're gonna live our life and do whatever we want, basically. There were moments where we did go to church. We did go to church for a little while. We went to church for moments. Here and there, we never went like faithfully. We went like for Easter, maybe Christmas. Excuse me, I spit a little bit. That's nasty. Sorry, y'all. Maybe Christmas, things like that. And if we did go to church, it was with my aunt. My aunt would take us to church a lot of the times. So all right, so my mom would tell me and my sisters stories about what my grandma had like explained to them. And growing up, now being an adult, you could basically say that those stories were like Telephone. You ever heard of the game Telephone? Telephone is a game where you would tell somebody something, but by the time it get to like the second or third person, the story then changed. So Etna would tell my mama some stuff, and by the time it got to me and my sister's ears, the story changed because of perception, right? So yeah, you could pretty much say that Jesus was a part of our home, or at least he was talked about in it, or whatever the case might be. So growing up, like I said, we were halfway taught about God. I would say we were halfway taught about God, And my aunt actually ended up becoming Christian. My aunt, we're gonna call her Bethany. My aunt Bethany became Christian, and she would take me and my little sister to church. So whenever we would stay the summer over at my aunt Bethany's house, we would go to church with her. She kind of taught us like how to pray over our food, and she taught us things about God. We would have like a family night where it would consist of everybody would play games, but before we play games, she involved God in it. So we would do like a Bible study, like a mini Bible study. And then everybody would disperse and pretty much go play board games. My favorite game was Connect Four and Hungry Hungry Hippo, that game. So, oh, and Uno. Y'all know what Uno is, right? So, so then after that, I'm growing up. I would often hear people be like, "Oh, you look like a pastor. You look like a deacon or just stuff like that." And I'd be like, "Nah, I don't see it. Not at all. I no. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't really like church like that. And there's this man that these people talk about that I don't even know if really exists. I don't know anything about him. Well, I know a little bit about him, but I don't know much about him. And then at the time, there were things that were happening to me as a child or things that happened to me in my growing up that I just was like, I don't really know if God is real. I don't know if he exists. I don't know if this is a hoax. I don't know. There's many different gods. There's so many different religions out there. There's so many different things going on, whatever. So I'm growing up. So I want to say when I was in like I want to say like when I turned 13. When I turned 13, we were living in Canarsie, Brooklyn, right? And lies. I'm lying. Actually, no, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. We were living in Canarsie, Brooklyn, and we were making our way to Bushwick, Brooklyn. We were making our way to move to Bushwick, Brooklyn. And I had started a new school. Um, I didn't go to school for like a week because we had to. There was something that had happened where I was unable to go to school for like a whole week. I can't remember what happened, but to God be the glory. Thank you, Jesus, that I didn't go to school for a whole week because I never liked the first day of school. I hated the first day of school. But whatever, that's neither here nor there because it's not the story we're telling today. Um, so I encountered this friend. We're gonna call this friend. We're gonna call her Jackie. We're gonna call her Jackie. So Jackie and I became friends through another friend, and we was kicking it or whatever. But Jackie was on lockdown, and I didn't know Jackie was on lockdown until I met Jackie's daddy. One day, Jackie was walking up to the school, and I was walking by, and I was like, "Yo, what's up, Jackie?" And Jackie's daddy actually gave me a dirty look. Right. And I was like, oh, okay. Jackie on lockdown, but Jackie don't be acting like she on lockdown. Anyways, that was eighth grade. Eighth grade ended up happening. I go to ninth grade. And by this time, I would like to say that I was like borderline atheist. And I say I was borderline atheist because, like I stated previously, there was a lot of things that I experienced in life that we will not get into in this video. And I know I say that in a lot of my videos, but we will get into those later on in future videos where I talk about the things that I've experienced and the things that have happened to me in life. But there were some things that took place in my life where I was just like, okay, where is this God that you people talk about so much? Where is this God that everyone says that he, the famous saying, he's not always there when you want him, but he comes right on time, and this, that, third, the other. I was wondering where was that God when this was happening to me, or when that was taking place, or when that one was doing this and that one was doing that. Where's this individual? Where he at? So I'm now in the ninth grade. I'm experiencing life. 10th grade comes, and I'm walking up the stairs, and guess who I see, y'all? Jackie. I see Jackie. So I was like, yo, what's up, Jackie? What you doing here? How you get here? Like, what you doing? So Jackie and I ended up in 10th grade together. So Jackie originally was going to a school in the city, and I was going to school in Bushwick. So it was a surprise for me to see Jackie in the 10th grade because I was like, I basically saw Jackie like I knew Jackie lived in the area. I just didn't know where she lived because whenever I would go past the pizzeria in Bushwick to go to the supermarket, oftentimes I would see Jackie, or like I would see Jackie in the park or whatever the case might be. But it was never like long term, like it was like a hello and goodbye. Fine. So me and Jackie became cool again. I mean, we were never not cool, but our relationship grew stronger, right? So I want to say like maybe a month or two in to 10th grade, we in algebra class. And mind you, I'm on the fence about God. I'm on the fence about God. I'm on the fence about religion. I'm actually even not even sure that God exists at this point. Even though I was like praying because that's what I was taught by my aunt. Like you have conversations with God or whatever the case might be. Didn't even know if the man heard me or not. I know. I just was like, all right, let's try this thing out. Girlfriend asked me, what she actually asked, she was like, oh, I remember the conversation. It was me, Jackie, and this girl, we're going to call her Tanya. We were in algebra class and we was talking about like worship songs or church. Somehow the conversation went around church and worship songs. And they was talking about the song, when I think about Jesus and what he's done for me, when I think about Jesus and how he set me free, I can dance, 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 dance all night. I know some of y'all Baptist folks know that song, and some of y'all Pentecostals, I know y'all know that song. I'm not the only one that knows that song. So we was talking about that song. All right, so Jackie was Spanish Pentecostal, right? Jackie was Spanish Pentecostal. So I was like, okay, well, how y'all get down? Because, Spanish, from my knowledge, Spanish and black get down differently. Whatever. But we talking. And next thing you know, girlfriend Jackie goes and says, yo, why don't you come to church with me? And I was like, what? I said, you want me to go into the house of God. You don't want me to go into the house of God. I said all hell and brimstones would break loose. Okay? I would catch on all types of, what's this inside of my mouth? Oh, sorry, that's just hair. I would catch on all types of fire. We not doing that. And what I really told her was, hell no. That's what I really said. We not doing that. So after I told her hell no, I thought about it. I was like, No, she kept asking me. She asked me a few times. And I was like, nah, girl, you good. I seen some stuff in my day with some folk and some people in church, and I'm just like, nah, all right, no, thank you. I don't think this is for me. Anyways, I ended up giving in, and I went. So we go. I was like, all right, I'll go to your church. When should I go? Let me know when. She invited me to a service on a Friday night. So I don't know if African American churches do this, but I know that like Spanish churches, like Dominican, Puerto Rican, Ecuadorian churches do. So they'll have these events called youth campaigns, men campaigns, women campaigns, and it'll last like three to 4 nights, or however long they decide that it will last. It just so happens that this night was a men's campaign, or a campaña de la caballeros, right? I didn't know that at first. Oh, did I? I don't remember. I think I found that out after. Anyways, I meet her at her house. The pastor at that time, the pastor of the church picked us up from there in the church van. And we're going, and in my head, I was just like, oh, this is the coolest pastor I ever met in my entire life. I didn't know that one like this existed anywhere. I just thought they was real snobby and real like, how you say, like, when you, like there's a saying that like your nose looks down on people or something like that. I thought that all pastors were like that or whatever, because that was my perception of a religious leader, was that they were real like snobby and obnoxious and judgmental and et cetera, whatever. But my encounter with him was not like that at all. It was actually the complete opposite. I was like, "Oh snap, you real down to earth. Like you cool peoples. Like I didn't know that you were. I didn't know that a pastor could be the." Now I'm not saying that the man was ratchet and not representing God in a proper manner, but he was really like he was cool. He was cool, and I was like, "Okay, cool. All right, this is a good first situation. All right, so." We get to going, and I remember that the service went on. First of all, worship was popping. All right, worship was great. Worship was amazing. I didn't even know a lot of the songs because a lot of the songs were sung in Spanish, but I'm a singer, so I kind of got hooked to like the rhythm and the beat of things or whatever. I was real stiff though, because I get real weird around people I don't know, and being that Jacqueline was the only one I knew, because Jacqueline was the only one I knew, uh, and someone else from our school I knew. I was like, all right, I'm a little comfortable. I'm a little comfortable, and also too with the some of the Spanish churches, you got the youth. They sit together, but youth boys sit on one side and youth girls sit on another. So I was like, all right, this is a little weird. It's a little different. I never experienced this before. Anyways, the preaching goes on, and it just so happens that Jacqueline's daddy is preaching. So Jacqueline's father is preaching, and y'all, for the life of me, cannot remember what the man said, but whatever he said, it got to me. And then he says, if you would like to accept Jesus Christ, come up. At this time, I'm like maybe, that's 10th grade. So I'm like 15 going on 16. No. Yeah, 15 going on 16. Something like that. I was like 15 going on 16, one of those numbers. Uh, and I went up. And he told me, he said, listen, now because that you are making a stand to accept Jesus Christ, you are going to be targeted by the enemy. That man could have been so right, because so many different things happened after me accepting the Lord. And from there, my journey has been an interesting one. My journey has been real interesting, you know. But it was the best decision that I could ever make in my life. And then me being so young, um, God is everything to me, y'all. My experience after that has been one of great experiences with God. And not to say that I've not experienced challenges, because I definitely have, especially after that warning. I have experienced so many different challenges in my life and in my everyday life for that matter, because of that decision. And I don't think I would change it for anything in this world. I'm very grateful for that night. I'm very grateful for Jacqueline coming into my life. I'm very grateful for having that experience where I got spoken to, or that the Lord spoke to me that night. And I don't think it was by coincidence. I think it was supposed to always happen. Maybe not in that way. I don't know how. I'm not God. I don't know everything. But it was the best decision that I ever made, was to uh, step into the faith of Christianity and follow Jesus Christ and meet some amazing people along the way. Have amazing stories to tell you people. Because like I said, I got stories for days, and we gonna get into them. We're gonna dive into some stories. We're gonna dive into some stuff. But for today, that is all that I have for you. That was my experience with becoming Christian. We will dive into the different things that I've experienced at a later time. I just wanted to tell you how I became Christian, and that was it. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being a part of my journey. I hope that you are blessed. I hope that you've laughed a little bit. I hope that you are in good spirits. I hope that you I hope that you are joyful. I hope that you are at peace. I hope that these stories, even though I know that some of them are really long, I hope that you find some pleasure in it some way, somehow. I appreciate each and every supporter. I appreciate every subscriber. I appreciate everyone that watches these videos, because I also understand that the stories and the things I've experienced are not just for me, they're also for other people. And so I love sharing with you all the things that I've experienced, no matter how stupid they are, no matter how dumb they might be, no matter how silly they are stories that I hope can be a bridge for you and for you all. I thank you and I appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye. Until we meet again.